G'day YouTube, how the heck we doing? It is Foul Play here, and we are back for the fourth match of this Modern League. Finally won a die roll. Sounds sort of interesting because we have no auras to enable Daybreak Coroner. I think we have about 19 in the deck. It's like reasonable odds to draw to that. I think this is probably worth the keep. Let's keep this and get into it. Just the upside of Daybreak Coroner is pretty high. Any 1 mana aura and would be in a much better spot though. It's probably correct to mulligan. I'm just being greedy right now. I'm channeling my inner BBD. So let's just lead on Misty Rainforest and we'll get our Temple Garden. And then we'll be very pleased after that. This is a slight weakness here. I don't want to let our opponent know about the blue just yet though. And thinning the library is positive to try and hit that extra aura that we need to find. Mountain Mish's Bobble. Alright, could be another burn deck again. Or another like mono red Prowess with the Underworld Breach combo in it. I'm sorry for hitting that one. An itch on my ear and did not think to avoid my boomer. Soul Guide Lantern as well. Alright, so this is probably an Izzet Breach deck of some description. I don't know. Let's see what we find off the top. The Mish's Bobble did target us. Oh my god, what an awful find. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in there for 1 point of damage and play this Gemstone Mine in tapped. I don't want to like throw out light pores into a lightning bolt or an unholy heat more likely. And we see Urza's Saga from our opponent into Bomat Courier. Attacking with Bomat Courier, and this thing like generates a fair bit of value as it goes, right? Exiles the top card of its own library face down. Oh my god, this is just awful, man. Think we saved Stubborn Denial for Underworld Breach. It's a shame that we've had like so many dead draws. Daybreak Coronet, not what we need. I guess we just hold on to Light Pause for now. There's no real point casting that one out into just open mana and removal. Yeah, they're just lightning bolting our face instead. Alright, so Urza's Saga ticks up as well. If we hit a green or a blue aura, we can aura plus Daybreak and be in a much better spot. Our opponent potentially gets a Shadow Spear next turn, which could be painful for us. Although Rancor would be the perfect draw because then we could just untap reload on Light Pause. And have safety. Oh my god. This is completely woeful. Alright, let's attack. We'll like second scout block the Bomat Courier. Although we're attacking into an Urza's Saga. What am I even doing? I'm just so ridiculous right now. Alright, no activation. Go team. We snuck a point of damage through there. Our opponent doesn't know what's going to hit them. Some very sad little 1/1s, right? It's just hexproof tribal. There's no auras. We're splashing like blue for Invisible Stalker and that's it, right? Alright, so Urza's Saga active. Find Springleaf Drum. Sure. Experimental Synthesizer now. Growing this guy, finding light up the stage. Alright, well they can speculate post-attack. It's probably worth cashing in Stubborn Denial to counter that if we can, although now Urza's Saga. Again, second copy of that card. And yet we can't find one of our 19 1-mana auras. How is that fair? Alright, so opponent attacking with the construct, but not the other guy. And I guess we'll just go ahead and take that damage. That's fine by me. We are not dead yet. Relight up the stage. Yeah, we can't like counter this because they got Urza's Saga, they got Springleaf Drum, which is not realistic. We can counter the Underworld Breach though, but it only gets Lightning Bolt, so that's not very worthwhile. Until the end of your next turn, you can play those cards, so they're going to be looking to play Underworld Breach next turn anyway. This construct's going to get pretty damn chunky. Okay, looks like our opponent will pass to us. Finally, although it's not quite the aura we want to see. Opponent has access to an instant speed burn spell, which I'm not thrilled about. I think we just go in on the scout, attack for 2 damage, hold up Stubborn Denial, and Stubborn Denial's probably not going to do a lot. Otherwise, they just like Springleaf Drum, tap for red mana, burn it out. And we can't like Light Paws plus Sentinel's Eyes get an aura. So I think holding up Stubborn Denial and maybe countering some Prowess effect or something that adds to their construct's power and toughness would be more relevant. Alright, our opponent is attacking with the construct, and we'll just go ahead and block that one with the Glade Cover Scout. Opponent gets access to a second construct per activating their Urza's Saga on the battlefield, making 6/6s, which is going to make it pretty hard for us to attack into. Although maybe they tap this for something else. Shrapnel Blast. Sure, 5 damage to face. Alright, we might be in trouble here. Another Shrapnel Blast, forget about your Bomat Courier maybe. Underworld Breach. Sure, so what does this do? Get back Nisha's Bobble, growing the construct. And we turn off Lightning Bolt by doing this. But they can still get the Misha's Bobble. Alright, well, I guess we just go for it. So I'll get the Misha's Bobble regardless. This will go back up to 5 power and toughness, but we'll stop the Lightning Bolt line. Alright, so Underworld Breach resolves after they tap for mana. And Misha's Bobble off the top, targeting us. I mean, hopefully a Rancor off the top so we can grow our power a little bit. Really make the most of this Daybreak Coronet. I'd settle for a Curious Obsession as well, right, though? Alright, what do we see? I guess even a Land Source would be reasonable, because then we could Light Pause and Daybreak and get the trigger. Alright, well, that's a Land Source, so we'll take that one. Plains. Go here, go here. Should we get like a Donor Rancor? That's probably good, right? Because then they can't feel good about burning this guy out. Alright, we'll go for that. And Bogle is a 5/5 currently. We'll keep track of this plus an Urza Saga active, things like that. Although they're forced to active here, they get a free artifact, so likely Construct is going to be a 6/6. Maybe we should have got Totem Armor so we could block through one removal spell. Yeah, I guess maybe this was wrong, actually. Alright, apologies for that, guys. Alright, so they float the mana. They don't active the Urza's Saga. Very interesting stuff. Pyretic Spellbomb. Shoots face with Pyretic Spellbomb. Very interesting that Light Pause is surviving there. I think we know what's coming next, though. Shrapnel Blast faced. Alright, nothing we can do about that. This is an interesting deck, though. So there's an additional cost to cast this, sacrifice an artifact. Gotcha. Alright, so here we can see a Izzet Prowess deck. Sorry, a mono red Prowess deck. Running the Bomat Couriers, running the Shrapnel Blasts. Alright, so this is going to be an interesting matchup because it doesn't look like they run Blood Moon if I'm looking at this correctly, which means we don't need to board in Artifact Enchantment Hate. And because of this Shrapnel Blast Lightning Bolt, ley lines could actually be good. Although I think just because of Urza's Saga, we probably bought in. Yeah, okay. So it's literally Shadow Spear that we need to worry about. And potentially a Blood Moon from the sideboard. So I think I'm going to try without boarding in Leyline of Sanctity, Just given the Izzet Saga, let's board in the Force of Vigors. We'll take out the Light Paws because they're very unlikely to survive anyway. I'm not going to bring in like the one of Solitude or one of Leyline. That doesn't seem very good to me. No Hexproof creature. We mulligan this hand. This hand, however, looks pretty damn good. We'll keep it. The bottom of the Mana Confluence, because that's a painful source of damage. We can lead on turn 1 Blood Moon, get our white mana, and then like have access to all colors on our color pie, which is kind of nice. Oh wow, our opponent's rocking some Izzet here. It's not just like a mono red Prowess deck. Very interesting stuff. All right, well, let's go ahead and crack this one. So we can actually just get a basic forest now. Just conserve our life total a little bit, which is nice. Play around Blood Moons. Also nice. Attack, we guarantee the card draw. That's especially nice, right? All right, Daybreak Corona off the top. Cool, we're in such a good spot here. Love to see it. Mishra's Bobble from our opponent, surveilling. We see Mountain into the graveyard now. Sacking Mishra's Bobble, looking at their own library. I wonder if that means they have another fetch land rather than getting information from us. So we see Arid Mesa, that's fine. Experimental Synthesizer, card off the top. Surveil trigger again. All right, so surveilling, leaving that card on top of the library. Experimental Synthesizer is going to see what that card is. And Darcy off the top there, cracking this one. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty okay with this, especially if they want to hold up chump blockers or something. That'd be pretty greedy from them if they want to like go for the double block and assume we have no other aura. Wow, no attacks. Let's go team. You love to see it. All right, well, fetching that basic is absolutely punishing us here. I think we just Daybreak Coronet. I don't think there's need to get tricky. This should just be a win from here, I would think. I guess our life total is kind of high and it's slightly safe to High Umbra attack. They could like theoretically like Shadow Spear, kill our guy and get underneath everything. Yeah, I think this is a slight misplay just given how high our life total is. Well, we find Rancor. Play that out for free, given the tempo. There's a Saga from our opponent now. They're all the way down to 5. This Bogles been doing work. Let's go. And they're passing to us. All right, well, I think we want to hold up Stubborn Denial now. 1 Daybreak Coronet is plenty. All right, let's go and attack. I don't see an out for our opponent. This is lethal damage. We've got the first strike. They go for Dress Down. Well, we'll let our opponent surveil first, and then we'll counter this Dress Down. Man, Stubborn Denial is so good to this league. This is huge. I might try continuing playing Bant. This is seeming pretty strong at the minute. All right, so we'll go and counter that one. It is a hard counter because we've got Ferocity. Cool, our opponent concedes. So we go back to sideboarding now. So it's Izzet. And does that change anything? Well, I've searched a few Izzet aggro decks and it doesn't really seem like much is going on. Maybe a bit of a funky card here with Ovar. But mostly, I guess it's just Dress Down, maybe a Spell Pierce or something. I think given now we're on the draw, we can probably take out Light Paws, bring in a Solitude. That should be okay, right? Yeah, let's go for that. The only point like that loses out is if our opponent deals with our board. Interesting hand, triple Hyena Umbra. I don't think this is very good, like, because we get a 4/4 first striker and then nothing else. Totem Armor does work well into Dress Down, which is a positive. We only have 4 copies of Totem Armor in this deck, so could be a risky one, but we don't have double white. We have to take a bit of damage from ourselves. We don't get Vigilance or anything. Like, if one of these was a Sentinel's Eyes, it's probably a keep, but as it is, I think this is a mulligan. Find something better. This is not better. Alright, well, we'll keep this one. Ditch the Force. Council, we want to keep that Hyena Umbra. Just want Ethereal Armor. So at least we can get like a first strike Vigilance creature on the board. That's reasonable. Bowmat Courier from our opponent. And that's going to get in and start exiling cards, generating that incidental advantage that it slowly gathers. Alright, and off the top we see non-land card. Not what we want to see. If we hit an aura this next turn, I think we're in a good spot. If not, our opponent can just like turn 2 Blood Moon, or turn 3 Blood Moon us, and then we just have like a 2/2 first striker, which is not very good. No blocks from us. Bowmat Courier can do its thing, and then we'll just turn it off in a future turn. Darcy, any land drop for the opponent? Bauble. Urza's Saga to the graveyard. Okay, so they definitely have land in hand, and they're looking for action of some description. Plays Urza's Saga. Alright. Alright, so sacks Misha's Bauble, targeting us. An opponent with knowledge of the breeding pool. Well, that's not a very useful land. Apart from basic forest, that is the most useless land that we could have hit here. Alright, we'll just leave up blocks for the Bowmat Courier. Then in a future turn, we'll get Vigilance down and we can start attacking. And in typical fucking troll fashion, we find our forest. That's a bit of a joke, man. What a fucking middle finger. Our 2 worst lands in the deck. Now we're just like a Dryad Arbor away from completing the set of 3 useless lands that do nothing. Still, we do get an attack here. Opponent cracking their Scalding Tarn. Yeah, cool, sweet, I'm good by that. Go, taking the damage too. Alright, a whole bunch of nothing too menacing for us. And creates a construct. Alright, well that construct could get irritating. We've still got plenty of life currently though. Alright, I find it floating the mana off their Urza's Saga, getting a Springleaf Drum. So I guess they're going to try and empty the misery out of their hand. Alright, and opponent's going for the dress down this turn. Very interesting that it's not like an end step effect, and not during our end step either, or in response to an aura, or anything like that. Having said that, we've discussed this before, Totem Armor does work through dress down because it is not applied to the creature. It's an ability that is unique to the aura and stays on the aura, so it will still trigger. And it was a bug for a while, but it has been fixed, thankfully. So we can beat 1 removal spell here. 2 removal spells might be a bit more difficult. What the heck? The bug is back. Why would they get rid of the Totem Armor bug and then it comes back? This is Hyena Umbra, which I've confirmed that it was working with, and now it's not working at all. That's just a bit of a joke, man. And like our lands have also been a bit of a joke. So you've lost your Bowmat Courier active as well, which is nice for us. Yeah, that's horrible. That is absolutely ridiculous. So that's not working anymore. Dead draw off the top just to cap things off. All right, well, all we need is like a Dryad Arbor. Opponent playing Epicure. 1 damage to us, Misha's Bauble. Yep. I mean, this is fine. I don't know why they tapped their mana the way they did last turn as well. It's a bit interesting. The way they did everything too, they lost an attack from the construct token, which is quite bizarre to me. Attack, exile, sure. We want to see like a land source into a Bogle, so a white land source into a Bogle, but we might be slightly too far behind on tempo. Opponent down to 0 cards in hand. Well, there's a chance, but Misha's Bauble gonna draw 2 cards. And then we might just, oh yeah, and the Bowmat Courier active. Opponent's got like so many legs here. So off the top, we find a Curious Obsession, and that's not going to cut it. So we're just going to concede this game. It's really unfortunate that the bug is back in the fashion that it was. It's also unfortunate that we hit like 0 fucking relevant lands, and we had a really good opportunity to circumvent our opponent's removal and weren't able to do so. So, yeah, I'm going to take that match as an inconclusive as opposed to a loss, because that's BS. And I guess I'll submit another ticket about this because the bug's back and that's really horrible. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless today, guys. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know about that, all the efforts you're going to go through to get rid of the bug for me. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Till next time, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.